Hello guys, welcome again to yet another video on InfoTrack TV. My name is Gerald Hoong, and this time around I'm just going to provide you guys with some updates about the new Visual Studio 2019. Now, even though today offered by Microsoft official courseware, most of the courses are still pretty much on Visual Studio 2017, but well, in this video I just want to get you guys abreast with what's new from Microsoft. This is just a product information and I would just like to have a brief moment and your attention on what you can expect in Visual Studio 2019. Now, first of all, of course, I'm not going to give you guys an introduction to what is Visual Studio, what you can do with it, Well, it's a tool, as you know, it's a programming platform, a tool, very much famous since more than 10-15 years ago, pretty much when Microsoft started with the .NET framework, and this time around, of course, they are just going to update with some cool features, what you can do as a developer using Visual Studio. Now, of course, one big feature that you can find is the improved search capabilities everywhere when you navigate in your Visual Studio. Now, formerly in Visual Studio 2017, they call it the Quick Launch. Today, you can actually do a search about every menu item, that gives you a competitive edge. A very quick way for you to find out where is the feature or where is the menu item can be found. So you just need to do a couple of typing, and they will just dynamically filter through all these menu items. And one of the major selling point about the updates in Visual Studio 2019 would be Visual Studio IntelliCode. Now, with Visual Studio IntelliCode, right, which is the built-in AI, right, into your Visual Studio, they can actually try to predict what you are going to type in terms of maybe when you are typing some code, when you're trying to call a method, right? They're going to provide you with a very fast way of they sort of like remember what you have typed previously, and they will try to predict and forecast what you are going to call in the future. So when you make a call to that particular expected method, right, they're going to give you all the available values that you're going to fill into those parameters or arguments inside the function. So this is actually a very cool feature, So by all means, go ahead and download Visual Studio 2019 and explore that. And another update would be there is a new menu item that allows you to perform code cleanup, in which it is just an enhanced feature to provide you a way to fix all the suggestions and warnings that you have. So they have an improved way of cleaning up your code based on some warnings and suggestions, right? Based on all those code analysis that they would have done. And one of the very important feature also provided in Visual Studio 2019 when you work among a team development environment would be what they call the Visual Studio Live Share. Now, this live share feature, right, it's almost the same as like the online real-time code editing provided in Microsoft Word or Excel or PowerPoint, whereby, for example, Microsoft Word, right, when you are editing a document on the cloud and your teammate comes in or your colleague comes in and edit the same document at the same time, you can see what is being typed or what is being edited at the same time that you are editing the same document. So right now, in a team collaborative environment, part of your coding as well. Now, Live Share allows you to have a real-time collaborative two-way collaboration among your team members, so that when you are editing a code module and your team member comes in and edit at the same time, you can see what they're typing, and you can have a way to chat and even mix your coding with other people's or your team members' coding. So that's a very cool feature, but you need to use that, I mean, that's my personal opinion. You need to use that, with utmost discipline. And of course, today there is a new extension that you can download and install for free inside your Visual Studio 2019 called, which is an integrated code review. Now, integrated code review allows a lot of or tons of codes that is being integrated to your GitHub as well as Azure DevOps repository, where you can have a way to share code and review each other's code before you check into these repositories, either on GitHub or Azure DevOps. And of course, have you guys ever wanted to sort of like, those days when you remember when you do some JavaScript, in your Visual Studio. There is no way that you can debug those scripts, where most of the time, you have to open up your browser and you rely on the F12 tool to edit or even debug your JavaScript. So right now, finally, Visual Studio 2019 embeds itself, a support called the Microsoft Edge Insider, when they will open up, or launch a new Microsoft Edge browser instance that allows you to run your JavaScript code in debug mode, and the debugging is done directly inside Visual Studio. So it's some sort of like a pluggable Microsoft Edge browser with your Visual Studio. So a lot of your JavaScript code can be now debugged, right? Usual, just as per normal, like with your C# code and all that in your Visual Studio. So you can set breakpoints right now in your JavaScript, and they are going to be edited and debugged directly in your Visual Studio. So that's one of the features that they have now. And I think to keep it short, right, just a couple of things that I have here, which is the last one, but not least, which is the search while debugging. The new watch window right now allows you to debug and watch those variables that you have added into it. And right now you can even search, for if let's say you're monitoring tons of variables and you want to watch the value changes, you can now search directly inside your new watch window. Now, of course, this is just a couple of a bit cool kind of features on top of many other features upcoming in Visual Studio 2019. You can just Google up the product information about Visual Studio 2019 from the Microsoft website. Now, of course, today it is all cloud first type of coding or development environment. So of course you will expect, just like your Visual Studio 2017, where Azure, the Code Explorer, Text Explorer, everything, it's built in nicely into your Visual Studio. And the integration to your Team Foundation server, if you still have an on-premise Team Foundation server, together with the Azure DevOps repository, you can now seamlessly check in and out of those code, or that you have checked into your Azure DevOps as well as the Team Foundation server. So, well, too bad that Microsoft haven't really launched much of or they haven't really updated any of those official courses to Visual Studio 2019. But stay tuned, right? And I'll see you guys soon. So far, that's about the updates that I can, or about the time that I have for this video. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much for watching, and yeah, stay cool.